Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be starting a thriller reading vlog. I wanted to read something a bit different than what we were reading with the horror vlog because I literally just finished that. Also just don't want to read romance. I don't really want to read, I kind of wanted to read contemporary but also don't at the same time. And I'm not in the biggest fantasy mood, and I'm actually working on a fantasy fairy loot vlog right now, but I need something to read in between the fantasy books because fantasy can be a lot, and mystery and thrillers just tend to be these popcorn thrillers. And really what made me want to do a thriller vlog is I have a couple of thrillers that I really need to get to before it gets too far away from publish date, because I just won't read them. The longer it goes, the less likely I am to read them and just to unhaul them eventually, because thrillers just kind of run into each other in my opinion, and there's just always new ones coming out that those end up getting prioritized and earlier ones end up just kind of disappearing and you don't think about them. Anyway, the two that kind of inspired this is obviously The Housemaid is Watching, just came out. That is the third book in the Housemaid series by Frida McFadden, and I'm very excited to read that one. So that one is the one that we are going to be reading first. I'm actually reading it as a buddy read with my mom, so just depends how long that one takes. I don't know about updating. I don't know how this is gonna go. It kind of just depends on how I'm feeling about things. That one I'm definitely gonna be reading first. The Housemaid is Watching, and all I know is it's following the same characters from the first two books. And then the other one I really want to read before I lose my nerve is Murder Road. The more I hear about this, the more I don't want to touch it. My expectations are very low considering all the things that I've heard about it, and I'm really dying to read it because Katie, Gavin, and Gabby all did a live show, and Katie released a full long hour rant about this book. So I want to watch those, but I can't watch them until I've read this. I'm just not going to do that. I want to at least give my own personal opinion about this first, and then I'll go and watch this after I'm done. So yeah, and this one is following a couple on a road, and I know it's paranormal, and this is the Evernight copy, which is gorgeous. So I'm really scared I'm not gonna like it. It's I'm really nervous I'm not gonna like it. But yeah, so this one and The Housemaid is Watching we are definitely reading, and then I don't know after that. I know there will at least be one more, possibly two. It just depends how I'm feeling, how fast these, or how long these take me. And yeah, so there will be two more. I just don't know what they are yet. Anyway, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Make sure you like the video at the end if you did enjoy it, and make sure you comment down below your thoughts throughout the video. And let's get into reading The Housemaid is Watching. The lighting is super weird. I'm just sitting in my car. Why does it look like I have this vintage filter on my phone? That's super weird. Oh well, we're just gonna roll with it. So I read The Housemaid is Watching. The Housemaid is Watching. I actually read it with my mom, and I felt weird about updating during that book because you can't really talk about it because it's about the characters from the first book. It is the third in a series, and I feel like you do need to read at least the first one to understand. Actually, no, you need to read the second one too to understand everything in the book. You probably could read it as a standalone, but you're not going to understand the history between the couple in the book. And this one was good. This one was good. I liked it about as much as I liked the first one. I gave the first one a 4-star. I am giving The Housemaid is Watching also a 4-star. I liked the second one better. Don't remember what it's called, but I did like the second one better. But this one was good, and I like that we fast forward in time. So with this iteration of the Housemaid series, we actually have, I think it's Millie and Enzo. We have Millie, who is a mom now. She is older and she's doing her thing, and they move into this brand new neighborhood, and this is definitely a domestic thriller, and I feel like all of them are domestic thrillers, but this one I feel like is more, this one is different. This one is different than the other two, and there is an issue directly relating to Millie this time, and that's fun. It was definitely, Millie was kind of the outside force in the first two books, and now she is the one that the mystery and the issues are kind of revolving around a little bit. And it's definitely different, and I can see if they choose to stop the series at this one, but I really hope they continue because I think there can be some fun stuff done with, they have kids now and there's drama with that, but I can see if this is it. I can see that this could be the final in the series. But I did really enjoy it. And if you liked the first two, I would definitely recommend reading this one because, again, it's really fun. I don't think this one should win. Again, like I said, I was totally fine with the one from last year winning the Goodreads Choice Awards. This one's definitely going to be like a contender. I don't know, because I read that many good thrillers this year, so maybe it should win. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go through and read some 2024 thrillers because this has not been like the thriller year. I haven't read a lot of thrillers for this year, which is kind of the point of this video, is to read new thrillers and kind of catch up on some. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. It just wasn't, I was hoping for a little bit more. I was hoping I'd like it a little bit more, but it did surprise me. The ending did surprise me. I don't know what else to say about this one. Like I said, I can't really talk about it because it spoils stuff like instantly for the first and second book, especially the first one. Next, I believe I am reading Murder Road. I've been dying to read Murder Road, and it's time, and I'm nervous because nobody likes it, and I don't understand why anybody that's why I'm really scared, because I did not like her last book, but I loved Sundown Motel, and I loved The Broken Girls. So I'm like, shoot, I really need to like Murder Road, like at least better than last year's or the year previous's book. It was so bad. So yeah, I hope I like this one. Yeah. I don't have high hopes, so maybe that's good. Maybe I'll like it because my expectations are so low. But yeah, we are doing Murder Road next, and Murder Road, I believe, is following a couple, and I don't know if they're murdered on the road. No, we're following the couple, so obviously they're not murdered. But there's some supernatural aspect about this road, and there's been multiple murders along this road, and I think that they come across somebody who is murdered or was attacked on this road, and there's some small town-esque things going on. So I do like that. Everything about it seems pretty interesting, but everyone hates it, so I'm still very nervous. It's really weird going from like such an addicting book like The Housemaid Is Watching to going to like, oh, you can see my little dog right there, to going to Murder Road, which is like so dry and boring. I like Housemaid Is Watching, I didn't even update because I had nothing to update on because it was just so like quick paced, and the only reason I paused is because it was literally late at night and I couldn't like continue on. But Murder Road, I am like having to force myself to continue through this because I'm just so bored. I don't feel any connection to any of the characters. I ended up picking it up on, I love that Spotify. If you have Spotify Premium, you now get like, is it 10 or 15 hours every month to listen to audiobooks, which is amazing. So I got that on Spotify, and I love the narrator, and it's helping a lot with the book, but it's still not doing that much. Like, this is still just such a dry book, and I am literally 216 pages in. I am on chapter 28. I am this far into the book. Like, I am far into this book. I'm over halfway. And I feel like I still don't know anything. Like, I don't understand the characters' motivations for things. I don't feel any connection really to the characters. I don't feel a connection to the town. I was expecting, because of like the art on this, and like that's like the town that you're kind of in right now, I was expecting to have some sort of like interesting connection with the town, but not really. Like, I feel like nothing is explained super well. Like, you don't know where you are exactly in the town or who you're exactly talking to. It's just boring. Like, the murders aren't really even, I feel like, well, I guess it is the focal point, but it doesn't seem important compared to all of the background stuff, I guess, that we're going over. I don't know. It's just such a weirdly written mystery book, and it's definitely not thrillery. It's very much, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I just wish this was more entertaining. Writing is just really bad. It just is. It's so clunky, and like stuff is weird, and the narrator is definitely helping with that. So thank goodness for the audiobook, or I would not be getting through this. But I I feel like I have 100 pages left, or 130. I have 130 pages left, and I don't know how this is going to do anything in 100 pages compared to what it's done already. So right now it's a 2. As of currently, with 130 pages left, it is a 2-star because it's just unbearably boring. So I'm probably going to finish it today because I cannot imagine dragging this out for another day. I have to go to the DMV to change my license to a different state, which is super fun. I've already done that before when we moved the last time. So now that we moved to a different state again, I have to do it again, and I just hate it. I hate it. But I did get an appointment, so I'm hoping the appointment speeds stuff along and I have all of the necessary paperwork. So yeah, that's it. This recording equipment literally has nothing to do with me. This is my husband's setup for, he does like racing and he's huge into video games, so he has like all this like stuff. I should probably use this stuff maybe. I think he said his microphone's broken though, so I think we have to get him a new one. But he's got all this fancy stuff that he uses. But his chair is really comfortable and I don't feel like setting up anywhere else to talk about this book. So, like I said, if you watch the horror vlog, you're just seeing more and more of the house and the yard as every video goes on. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So new spot, new location. We are right next to the kitchen. This is supposed to be like an eat-in kitchen area, but we already have a formal dining room. It's not like fancy formal. It's just our regular dining room table. And then we have not an island, but like a sit-up area that I plan to get high chairs so you can use that as like the eat-in kitchen. Cause like, so this seems like a repetitive space. So this is where Lucas set up his gaming stuff, and that way we can all, like, when he's doing this, I'm in the living room right there and we can chit chat and hang out all the time. So anyway, what you guys are actually waiting to hear about, Murder Road. I finished this last night. I finished this last night at like midnight, and I was taking my time trying to figure out what I did want to rate this as, because like I said in the previous thing, it was about a 2-star where I updated you guys, and I feel like it didn't get any better, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3. I think I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a soft 3. It's a soft 3, but I do think it is significantly better than the last book that she wrote, like way better than the last one. I think it had a lot of issues that I liked in the previous book. That's the problem. I feel like I liked the idea behind this one better and the general plot of this one better, but I didn't have any connection to the characters. So let's kind of go over what I liked and what I didn't like, because I feel like that's the best way to like organize my thoughts about this book. I feel like anytime I review a book that I'm mixed on, it's just really hard to figure out like how to go about it, because there's so many things like you kind of want to bring up, and it's all jumbled and mixed within each other. Things that I liked about this book, I definitely would say that I enjoyed setting and the supernatural aspects of that. That's something about Simone St. James. She always does supernatural type of things. So I definitely did like that. I liked that it was like a cold case murder that we were kind of going over, or multiple murders. And that's kind of it. Like, I'm trying to like rack my brain for things that I liked about it, but I'm like, oh gosh, I might have to go down to a 2. The more I'm thinking about it. But like 3 for me is just like a middle of the road book that I'm not gonna remember, but I didn't hate. So I don't know. Okay, let's go over things that I didn't like. I did not like, they did a lot of things that I find icky in mystery and thriller books. And the biggest one is where police like basically pick your main character as the person who did the crime, and they obviously did not commit the crime. And so for the whole book, it's our main characters trying to convince the police that they didn't do it. It just drives me nuts. Like, it makes me so annoyed, that type of plot line, because it just feels like the book is one giant just annoyance. It's so annoying. Like, a TV show will do something like this, but it'll be like 1 or 2 episodes. If a TV show has a whole season where they think that the police think that the wrong people did it, I tend not to like that show, and I will not continue watching that show. And it's the same with movies. I will not go watch a movie where that's like the main thing unless it's done like really, really well. And this was not done well enough to pull off that type of plotline. So yeah, most of this was literally the police, small town police, obsessed with our main characters as being the murderers. And there is reasoning at the end for it, which is why I think I bumped it up to a 3 instead of a 2. But it was still just so frustrating and so obnoxious that I just was so annoyed reading. Like, it was so frustrating. I don't love reading a book and feeling frustrated, and I felt frustrated most of this book because of that plot line. I also didn't like that there was like, I feel like almost no way to actually solve this. And that's what I really don't like that in thriller mysteries. I want to be able to like, I want to be able to look back and reread the book and be like, oh, this makes sense. This is why this happened. That wasn't the point of this one. This felt more like weirdly literary fiction than mystery, even though the mystery is like the main part of this. But it focused so much on the supernatural aspect. I think that was the key here, is it focused on our main character, Eddie, has PTSD from being in the military. And our main female character, who I can't remember her name. I just remembered Eddie because it was just such a weird name. April. April has PTSD from abuse and stuff from her past. And so Eddie has in the past had hallucinations. And so he thinks he's like hallucinating stuff. And a lot of the book focused on his PTSD, which would be fine if it was balanced with the mystery. But I don't think it was. I think their personal problems were at the forefront of the book instead of the actual cold case and the supernatural murders that were going on. And I think because anytime they talked about the murders and actually did the investigating side of things, it was really good. Like, they introduced late in this book, they introduced 2 characters who were majorly underutilized. They introduced 2 teenagers who are like super into true crime and trying to solve it, and they were funny. Like, they brought this like levity to the book that it needed, and they were like super sneaky and like into UFOs and conspiracy theories, and they're fun. That should have been introduced significantly like earlier in the book, and I think that would have helped a lot with the pacing and the motivations in the book, because at a lot of points it felt like the book just stalled and you didn't know where you were supposed to go from that point on. So that was really frustrating. So yeah, there's a big problem with pacing, and I think those 2 characters, if introduced earlier, would have helped a lot. I think if the police were actually involved with the investigation and like helping them or bringing them into the case more, like asking, like being legitimate police, I think that also would have helped with pacing and helped with it being more interesting. But instead, the police were at odds with them at every turn. The teenage girls were introduced late, way late into the book, and even then when they were introduced, there was only like 2 parts with them, and those 2 parts, like, they're the best parts. Like, they're so interesting. So this book had the capacity to get there, but it's like it's like Simone St. James made the wrong decision at every turn of what to do. Like, it was there. The book is there, the idea is there, but it did not come together in a way that makes it interesting enough to read. I would not recommend this. Like, even though it's a 3, which is like middle of the road, I wouldn't recommend this to people, because I think, number 1, there's significantly better Simone St. James books. And number 2, again, you can't really solve this. So if that drives you nuts, don't read this. Like, I feel like once you think you can solve it, it's very obvious. Like the person responsible doesn't get introduced until like 100 pages left in the book. I think when I talked to you last, I don't think the character was introduced yet. So yeah, so it kind of just focused on the supernatural part of it, the PTSD, and then the fight with the police. Most of it was the fight with the police. And and that's why I get the 3, because again, there were parts that I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so interesting. This is really creepy. And then the rest of it was just like turning pages, waiting for something to happen. So pacing is probably one of my biggest issues in books, especially thrillers. Like, I feel like I should not be able to put a thriller down, and I kept putting this down. Like, I did not want to continue reading this. So yeah, Murder Road, 3 stars. Okay, next one we're gonna read. I don't know I don't know what I want to read next. I have quite a few thriller mysteries, and I'm trying to get through stuff that I own because I was looking at my library books and I'm like, I should probably just return them because I'm not reading them, which is bad. But like, I'm trying to get through my books. Like, I really want to try and get through as many of my books as I can because I would like to clear out all my books. So let's go look at my bookshelves, what I have downstairs, because I have plenty upstairs, but I don't want to go upstairs. So let's check out what I have downstairs, I guess, and we'll pick something from there. I feel like I didn't keep that many mystery thrillers to read. Hi. Wow, it's so grainy because of how bad the lighting is in here. So obviously we have, oh, I guess I have quite a few. None over there. So yeah, we have Daughter of Mine. I like Megan Miranda, so we'll put that on there. Kill for Me, Kill for You, which I've heard pretty good things about. And then First Lie, which I've heard, like, I was hearing really, really good things about that one. And then I feel like the longer it's out, the less good things that I've been hearing about it. So that makes me a little nervous for that one. But I think that's all the mystery thriller over here. And I don't think I have really any over here. High Society is more literary fiction, I think. This is a brand new release. I don't know if this would be considered mystery thriller. But that's going to be more literary fiction. I do need to start The Raven Boys soon, but that's obviously for our book club. Oh, Midnight. Okay, I really want to read Midnight, so let's pull that one out. It does not have like great ratings, but I think that's more, gosh, you can see everything is such a mess. I feel like that's more, I don't know, I just really liked her writing, so I enjoyed that. Although that's tempting to save for the cruise, because I'm looking for like cruise reads, and I know I'm gonna read Will Dean's The Last One, I think is what it's called. And that one might actually work really well for the cruise as well. And I definitely want to read Home is Where the Bodies Are. So those are two really good choices. I think that's really it over here, probably. Like I said, I didn't keep out a ton of mystery thrillers. So yeah, let's go and look at what we have pulled. Okay, so we have a couple of options. And I think it's gonna be really fun. I think I have a fun thing. I don't really do Instagram. I really need to do Instagram so that I can do polls for you guys. But I don't like Instagram. I feel like I'm talking into this, but I'm not. There's no sound going from this to my phone. I just don't like Instagram. I feel so old saying that, but I just don't. But let's do a poll in the community tab. I feel like that would be fun to do that. And enough of you kind of look at it that you'll actually vote in it, hopefully. But so we have, let's see, I think I'm definitely going to read Home is Where the Bodies Are. I have been wanting to read that one. I've been seeing a lot of people read it, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So we're definitely gonna read this, my really cool edition. That was the Barnes & Noble special edition. God, this thing is just in the way. I'm never going to film over here again. This is not good for showing things. My really, really cool edition of this. This is 3 estranged siblings reunite to sort out their mother's estate after she passes away. And it's just going to be sibling things. And they're going to look at VHS tapes. It reveals a night back in 1999 that none of them have any recollection of. And their father appears in blood. And that's what's happening. So I think I'm gonna read this next. Things will be really fun. It is quite short. I just love the aesthetics so much. So I hope I like it better than a lot of people seem to be enjoying it. But I want to read one more because of how quickly I've been reading these mystery thrillers, because I think The Housemaid is Watching took me 2 days, and then I think Murder Road took me about 3, but I could have done it in significantly less time. But we have Daughter of Mine, so we'll put this one up. And a lot of people said this is very Yellow Jackets. Is this the one that everyone was saying was Yellow Jackets? And our main character is coming back to a small town, and there's hidden secrets and stuff like that. I feel like it's just a normal Megan Miranda. So we'll put this one up on the poll. Then we will put First Lie Wins. I've heard a lot of really, really good things about this. Like I said, the longer though that it's out, the less good things that I'm hearing about. P. Porter has everything a nice Southern girl could want: a doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence, a tight group of friends. The only catch, Evie Porter doesn't exist. So this one, makes me suspicious because I feel like this is definitely going to be unreliable narrator and a lot of lying, and sometimes I really like those books and sometimes I really hate them. So this is either, I feel like, gonna be a 5 or a 1. So putting this one up, I kind of hope this is the one that wins. I don't know which one I want to win. This is why we're having an issue. And then Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. And again, I've heard really good things about this one too. She will kill your worst enemy. All you have to do is kill hers. So switching killer kind of thing. What is it? Strangers on a Train, it seems like, kind of thing is going on. So this one also sounds pretty good. This one sounds like, I feel like the Megan Miranda is probably the one that I would think I would like the best. And then probably this one. And then first, like I said, First Line wins either 1 star or 5 star. I feel like there's gonna be no in between. I'm gonna laugh when I give it like a 3. So anyway, I'm gonna put those 3 up on YouTube voting, and I'll come back in like a day or 2. Basically, I'll leave it up until I finish Home is Where the Bodies Are, and then I will come check it out and see what won. And that's how we're gonna do this. So let's start with Home is Where the Bodies Are. I'm quite excited to start this one. I've been putting it off because I don't want to get rid of my copy if I don't like the book. Because it's so pretty. So anyway, let's get started on this one. It shouldn't take me that long. I'm coming. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so I was supposed to update while reading this, but I didn't stop reading it. Like, I read it pretty much in 1 to 2 sittings, and there's not much to say about this book. I ended up giving this a 3.5, which is pretty good. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I had low expectations for the actual content of this book. I just bought this because of the cover, but I give it a 3.5. It is incredibly short. It is like a bite-sized thriller book, and it's entertaining. Like, if you don't want anything really, really good or really surprising, this is just a quick, entertaining read. Nothing is surprising in this book. If you've read like 10 thriller books or mysteries in your life, you can figure out what happens in this book. It is very obvious, like almost from the first chapter, about who the bad guy really is. Like, that's just kind of how it is. Like, it's very obvious about what's going on. It's also a lot shorter than I thought it was because there's a bunch of like random stuff in the back. So the book is actually only 246 pages. And then the back of the book is like her going to the location. Like, the setting of this book is in the place where like she grew up. And so she went back and took a bunch of pictures, and it's actually really, really cool. I read through all of it. But the actual book is only 246 pages. So again, it's like a bite-sized thriller. I am so happy to give it a 3.5 because that means I can keep it. That was kind of my goal, is to like it enough to keep this copy of the book, because I'm getting rid of everything I don't like. So I was very nervous that I wasn't going to like this because I started The Perfect Marriage before and I was not the biggest fan of the writing style of it. But the writing style is a lot better in this. But like I said, it's fine. Like, there's nothing special about it. It is compulsively readable. I was entertained the whole time. So there's really nothing else to say about it. It's 3 points of view. The 3 siblings all have their points of view, but it's really Beth and Nicole are really the main characters, especially Beth. Beth is like the main character. And you're following them after their mother died and they find a VHS of something suspicious about their parents on it. And it relates to a missing persons case from their childhood. So that's pretty much it. It is cut and dry. There's no real big twists in here. It is just a straightforward mystery. I would recommend this to beginner mystery readers or people who just don't care about there being a big twist. They just like the journey. That's kind of who I would recommend this to. Otherwise, I would not recommend this to like hardcore mystery thriller readers. They're not gonna like this. Like, I'm a pretty big mystery thriller reader, but I want to be surprised, which is why I only got a 3.5, but I do also enjoy the journey of getting to the end. So this was fine. It was fine. Oh, I also started First Lie Wins, which is what won the poll. This won the poll by a lot, actually. 86 pages in, I don't really like it. I actually didn't know what this was about before I bought it. I just saw a lot of people were enjoying it, so I went ahead and bought it. And I'm regretting it because I don't like the premise. I really don't like the premise. I don't know if I can even say what the premise is. I mean, kind of. I think, yeah. Okay, it does say. So it's following our main character, Evie, who works for a suspicious boss named Mr. Smith, and her mark is Ryan, who she is currently moved in with, something like that. And it seems like they have a romantic relationship going on, but he's her mark, but we don't know why he's her mark and what she's actually doing. We just know she has a very suspicious past of getting in trouble and other things happening. And I just don't like it. I don't like the mysterious boss thing. I'm not enjoying it. And part of me really wants to stop, but the only thing that's making me not stop is not our main character, but potentially a mystery that Ryan is holding, because it seems like Ryan also has some sort of secret he's keeping from Evie. That's why I'm continuing reading it, and it seems like a lot of people are like, oh, the twists and turns that happen in it, it's very sneaky. So I'm like, so I don't think I'm gonna stop reading it. I'm just not super happy about it right now. So I'm hoping I find something I like more in this, because right now it's kind of a dud. Sadly, it is a dud for me right now. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this and give you my update, and hopefully it's good. I'm having such a bad time, guys. Because I'm doing this and I'm doing a fantasy fairy loot vlog at the same time, and that's not going well either. I'm so tired of reading. Maybe that's the problem, but whatever. Let's continue reading this. Hopefully I like this trope better later on. This is the end of the video, because I'm officially DNFing First Lie Wins. I can't do it. And then I skimmed to the end and I didn't even like the ending. So I'm really glad that I DNF'd it. This just isn't my type of thriller mystery. Like, that's what it comes down to. I don't think it's written badly. I don't think there's just anything bad about it. It's just everything that I don't like in mystery thrillers is in this book. So to keep my sanity and to not put myself in a reading slump, I am going to DNF this. So yeah, if you like lots of lying and lots of like secret mystery spy kind of things going on, this is probably right up your alley. I don't like that. I like spy books only when they're like cozy mystery kind of things, like cutesy ones. I don't like it in this more weird format. Or like TV shows. Like, I love TV shows. But I just didn't like this. I didn't like this. I was having such a hard time reading it. I did not want to pick it up. I was even listening to an audiobook, and I ended up cranking it up to like 2.6. And I realized I like wasn't even like hearing the words anymore. I was just letting it play. It's like, that's when you know to DNF. That's when you know it's over. So anyway, like I said, it's nothing bad. I just don't like the spy weird secretive aspect of it. I just didn't enjoy it. So unfortunately, this one was not for me, so I DNF'd this. This was an awful vlog. So we read 3 out of the 4. I hate ending it on a DNF. Like, that's even worse. So we read 3 out of the 4. We read The Housemaid Is Watching, which I gave a 4-star. And then everything went downhill from there. Then we read Murder Road, which I am downgrading to a 2. I did go and read or watch Katie Coulson's video on this, and she points out so many plot holes that I didn't originally see, but like I was thinking about a lot of things she was talking about, but I kind of just let it go. I feel like I gaslit myself into giving this a 3 because I wanted it to be good so badly to keep my copy of it. It's a 2. It is a 2. It's very sadly a 2. Just hearing her re-talk about it, it was so bad. I was so much nicer to this book than I should have been. It's not good. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of random things that are happening in this. So this is a 2, sadly. And re-editing, listening to me, like, I've already edited all the video except for this last clip, obviously. Listening to me re-talk about this, it's clearly a 2. It is not there's no way a 3 hearing myself talk about it. So 2 stars for this one. And then we read Home is Where the Bodies Are, which had like some of my lower expectations, and this is 3.5, so that's good. And then we had the DNF First Lie Wins. So obviously the Housemaid Watching was the winner of this vlog. I would say the main loser is Murder Road, because even though I DNF'd this, I think it could be a good book for other people. I think most people who read Murder Road are going to hate it. So Murder Road is the loser of this video, sadly. Yeah, that is everything. Sucks. Sucks. It's just really bad because like I said, I'm also working on a Fairy Loot vlog at the same time, and that one's going even worse than this one. Like, significantly worse. So that one should have probably been done by now as well, but I keep running into problems. So I'm not finished that one either. Yeah, anyway, that is everything I had for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was so bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you comment down below if you read any of these, what you thought about them. If you have any recommendations for good thriller mysteries, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. And that is everything I have for you today, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.